Ever since I was growing potatoes with my kid in Africa, until the neighbor girl lured me into selling candies, I had never seen any school gang leader as terrifying as this guy. With just a hair clip in his hand, instantly, no matter how many thugs or gangsters came at him, they'd all turn around and run for their lives. Taking on a whole gang was something way too normal for him. He beat the toughest bully in school, and he smashed any guy who liked to pick on others. Look at him the wrong way? You get a beating. He was the top gangster of class 12A. Yet someone actually dared to beat his younger brother half dead. And not just that, he even tried to harass his girlfriend. So how will this revenge story unfold? How brutal is this school gang? Let's find out. A school action blockbuster filled with meaning, so intense that even the dead would break out of their coffins to watch it. This is the movie called Dangerous Boys. In a certain city in Thailand, there were two infamous high school gangs. The Black Pants Gang and the Blue Pants Gang. They fought each other like it was daily routine. Every 2 weeks they had to clash to cure their itchy hands. All of them looked pretty handsome. But deep down they were insanely aggressive. Didn't matter if it was teachers or police coming. Both gangs would still fight openly anywhere in broad daylight. The leader of the Black Pants Gang was May. If he was only the second worst guy around, no one would dare claim to be number one. Any student stepping out of line would get his coffin nailed shut by this guy. On the other side was the Blue Pants Gang, a gathering of heroes who loved helping others and claimed to fight for justice. So the two gangs were like water and fire. Before they even smelled each other's stinky socks, they were already breaking skulls. Never afraid of anyone, that was Lee Sin, the leader of the Blue Pants Gang. The moment he put the hair clip on, his enemies basically signed up to meet the Grim Reaper. He handled all kinds of chaos, from street racing and brawls on sidewalks to knocking out bullies. Everything was child's play to him. So of course, Lee Sin had tons of girls, which kept him swinging his fists non-stop. One day, Lee Sin's little brother named Malak brought 4 childhood friends, back when they barely had leg hair, to confront the Black Pants Gang led by May. Seeing that Lee Sin wasn't here and only a bunch of brats showed up, one Black Pants member arrogantly said, "Have you guys prepared your coffins yet?" "We have, but they're for you." "What color do you like?" "Your granddaddy here will paint it for you." The Black Pants Gang mocked them even more. "Your big brother hiding like a turtle today or what? We alone are more than enough to send you to the underworld." Hearing that, the Black Pants Gang still acted cocky, so Malak decided to put on a show. He waved his hand for the hidden army behind him to appear, but due to some technical issues, no one showed up. Only when someone yelled from behind did 50 Blue Pants members finally appear. Not any less dramatic. The annoyed Black Pants Gang summoned a full 100 members, swarming out like ants. Chains were drawn, everyone ready to charge, but surprisingly, Malak told them to stop. Turns out there was something big. The gang leader Lee Sin had arrived. Without saying a word, he put the hair clip on his head, cool like a juju. Then he grabbed his weapon and charged just like Yang would destroying Xianyang City, even though the Black Pants Gang outnumbered them many times. Once he gets serious, don't even ask who his dad is. Both sides began a bloodbath. Even the heavens had to cry with rain. Everyone was swinging wildly, hard to tell friends from foes. The situation was chaotic. But Lee Sin still found and confronted Mai. He wasn't a match at all, so Lee Sin quickly snatched his chain, then smashed his mouth to pieces. After this earth-shaking battle, over 100 members of the Shorts gang were gathered in the hall by the principal, and she sang them a Kai Luong lecture. "If you don't care about yourselves, at least think of your parents. Why keep fighting like this? Your parents break their backs working in the fields to raise you, yet you roam around causing trouble." Mai replied, "For the honor of our school. You guys are beyond saving," she said. The principal was speechless and left. The homeroom teacher said, "Use the head above to think, not the one below to command your actions. Or else I'll have punishment for all of you." At the school on the other side, Lee Sin was summoned with his parent for a tea talk by the principal. His mother was humiliated and wished she could crawl into a hole. Forming gangs and organizing massive fights with other schools. Calling yourselves students but behaving like thugs. You should discipline him at home. I'll let it go this time, or else he'd be at home shoveling cow dung. The homeroom teacher added fuel to the fire. A spoiled kid is the mother's fault. A rotten this made kid Lee is the grandmother's fault, but she held it in. That night when they got home, his mother scolded him furiously. "Why don't you study? Why do you keep fighting for the honor of a man?" He said, making her laugh. "You brat, pour me some wine." Seeing his mom craving a drink, Lee Sin could only comply. Turns out back then his father ran a bar, got drunk, and abandoned the family to chase baby girls. When his mother found out, she was heartbroken and drowned in vitamin C. Lee Sin didn't like seeing his mother drunk and often warned her that it had hurt her health. "I gave birth to you, don't teach me," she said. Like a dragonfly. So Lee Sin called his buddy Tompa to go out for fresh air. Unexpectedly, the Black Pants Gang had been tailing them and surrounded them. The gang leader, still swollen from Lee Sin's punch, but still arrogant, taunting them. Two idiots. Angered and already irritated, Lee Sin revved the throttle in response. Turns out he was a street racer. As soon as he hit the gas and shifted gears, they had to eat dust. However, before the blue uniforms, all are equal. So when the cops appeared, everyone scattered like birds. Luckily they weren't dragged to the station. The next day, Li Xin texted his longtime crush. It was Diana. Being asked out by her idol made her happier than when her mom gave her money to buy new clothes. When school ended, Mai and his gang were sitting by the road checking out girls. Right at that moment, Diana and her terrifyingly pretty friend walked by eating snacks. Seeing this, Mai was smitten and said, "Diana will definitely be the mother of my children." Outside, Diana wondered whether Li Xin would show up or not. "He only likes me, you don't stand a chance," her friend said. Suddenly, Li Xin was already sitting on a large block, waiting by the road. The two girls ran out, and he said, "If you don't mind me being poor, hop on and I'll take you. He's waiting for me." Bim got her hopes up and tried to climb on, but Diana stopped her. Then the two revved up and left, leaving Bim heartbroken. Unwilling to be left behind, she hailed a ride-hailing driver to follow them. But she didn't even get to hop on before being left behind again. Seeing this, a henchman from the Black Pants gang sprinted back to report to May. Li Xin had taken Diana out on a long trip. It hit him like thunder to the ear. May angrily tried to chase after them but was stopped. It was too late. Meanwhile, Li Xin was having incredibly romantic moments with the school beauty. After all these years, he finally had a bit of romance. The next day in the class of the naive kid Malik, the literature teacher said today's youth invent rather interesting phrases. For example, old like an eggplant, head over heels like a banana, mean like a rhino, fainting on the orange branch, awesome like the sun. Her favorite new phrase was, dominant on every grain of rice. Her playful slang made the students burst into laughter. After class, the whole group went shopping at the supermarket, so Malik told his brother Li Xin to go home first. Worried for his naive little brother, Li Xin reminded him to be careful of the Black Pants gang. May and his henchmen were mugging other students at school. They spared neither the young nor the old. Even soft, gentle girls with just a few coins for breakfast weren't spared. They then used the money to party and dance. Malik and his Blue Pants gang friends arrived at the mall and spotted them, like cats seeing fish. May immediately ordered the Black Pants gang to charge into battle, but he crashed straight into the pole, crushing his 2 dragon balls, making the boys laugh like crazy. "What the hell are you laughing at?" Trying to save face, even though he was in pain, May still charged into attack. Because they were outnumbered, Malik and his friends wanted to flee, the smartest choice. Unluckily, they ran straight into a dead end, nowhere to run. Just when they didn't know what to do, 500 members of the Blue Pants gang arrived. And of course, the one person who couldn't be missing, Li Xin. Seeing the hair clip on his head, May and his henchmen got scared stiff and ran. A wild chase broke out right after. And of course, May and his henchmen got another free massage session. After being beaten by Li Xin, his face ID was basically wiped his bloody nose, and May smelled something foul. Turned out the guy had worn stinky socks for weeks without washing. Everyone burst into laughter but ended up being chased like dogs. The Black Pants gang's reputation hit rock bottom. Kaban said, "If Li Xin hadn't come, I would have spilled some of their blood already." The moment he finished, May kicked him in the mouth, spraying tomato juice everywhere. "You were the first one to run and still dare to talk big? As a man, better to live glorious than die shameful." "It's the opposite. Better to die glorious than live shameful." May punched him again, knocking out 2 front teeth. No joke. The next day at the Blue Pants gang school, Malik and his band, 7 Weasels, discovered their rock video had gone viral and reached nearly 1 million views. "If we hit 2 million views, we'll get to perform on the big stage of Thailand's Young Talent Show." While the whole group was enjoying a few cups of lemon tea to celebrate, the literature teacher showed up and announced, Li Xin's parents were summoned to meet the principal because he fought with students from another school in the middle of the street. That afternoon after work, Mama humbled herself, begging nonstop, hoping the principal would show mercy to these 2 troublemakers. But the principal didn't budge and said they would receive an official warning this time. If it happens again, they'll be expelled. Crying won't solve anything. So Mama had no choice but to say she would go home and teach her kid properly. After that, everyone dispersed and went home. That night, the homeroom teacher went to meet May's mom and grandma to report the recent fight. He explained until his throat was dry that her grandson caused chaos all over the shopping mall. Yet May's mom insisted firmly, "My son is very well behaved at home. Other kids talk back to their parents, disrespect their elders. But May always listens and obeys. He's a model student, a perfect child, top grandson. 5 years in kindergarten, he was always awarded. Are you falsely accusing my son?" After that whole "grandma praises everything" the homeroom teacher gave up, nothing more he could do. Meanwhile, on the other side, seeing Diana secretly crushing on Li Xin, Bim, looking like a ghost, also said, "I miss Li Xin too. Just thinking of him revving his bike makes me tremble, like my whole soul vibrating. Things are different now. If you want the guy, you gotta climb mountains and cross rivers to find him." Bim took Diana straight to Li Xin's house. After knocking a few times, Malak opened the door. They learned that Li Xin was inside. So both girls rushed in and said, "We're scared of ghosts at home, can we stay here for the night?" "Li Xin is handsome but not easy," he said. "Diana, it's late. Let me take you home. But right then thunder struck outside, rain coming, perfect timing. So the two girls ended up staying over at the brother's house. The next morning, Mama came home from the bar and saw Malak sitting alone on the sofa. Before she could ask what was going on, Diana appeared still wearing pajamas. This made Mama explode. She kept asking who this girl was and why she slept with her son. Despite Li Xin explaining that nothing happened, that they were innocent, she still scolded him. You're a student. How dare you bring a girl home? With no other choice, Li Xin told Diana to leave quickly. But the real shock, the thing that nearly gave Mama a stroke, was them stepping out of the bathroom saying, "Hello, future mother-in-law. Are you blind, Li Xin? You idiot, do you have no taste at all? If you two end up with a baby, I'll go insane." That morning, while May and his gang were releasing stress, one guy said their music video had only 3 views. May wondered why something so good wasn't trending. But actually, they sang like cats crying and dogs vomiting. No way they could compete with the Blue Gang band. Realizing someone forgot to zip his soul window, May told Vaughn to fix it. But Tommy stopped him and said he'd handle it. Yet he pulled too hard, almost crushing May's little bird, making him gasp in pain. Malak's 7 Weasel band watched their clip and said, "These guys are trash. Falling non-stop like that, even with followers, they'd lose them. Even if someone paid them, they still wouldn't reach 1,000 views." Li Xin rode his big bike and took the pretty girl home romantically. Seeing this scene, May got furious, chest burning with jealousy. He rushed out and threatened her, saying she must not go with that guy. What does he have that's better than me? Right after saying that, May tried to pull a dirty move, but Diana pushed him away and ran straight into her house. The poor boy cried inside because his rival stole the girl he loved. The next day he came to school, crying and whining like a lunatic. His friends didn't understand anything until one guy said, "Yesterday Li Xin took Diana home." May caught them, blocked the way, and tried to forcefully kiss Li Xin, but Li Xin punched him straight in the mouth like Mr. Bean. Why would I go around harassing men? The one I love is Diana. After that, May told Bond to bring the school flag of Li Xin. Then he recorded a video challenging him. "Dog, don't let me catch you or your fate will be like this flag." After saying that, he repeatedly stomped on the flag. But without noticing, he kept stomping on Kabana's foot instead. "Who told you to stand so close to me?" in pain. Right after that, May set the flag on fire as a challenge to send to Li Xin. But like an idiot, he didn't notice the fire burning his hand. After watching the video, Li Xin told Tong that if he saw May anywhere, he would beat him on the spot. That night, Li Xin went to his dad's bar and suddenly announced that he liked a girl. But his mom was against it, so he didn't know what to do next. As a notorious womanizer, second only to Wei Xiaobao, Li Xin's dad advised him, "A real man must have courage. If you like her, then go for it, don't be scared." But since they were still students, their relationship had to stay innocent. With his dad's support, Li Xin felt relieved and left the bar. But shortly after, he brought Diana back to introduce to his dad. Even more surprising, his silly little brother Malik also came along happily. "I have a girlfriend too." "Hello Dad," but it wasn't Min, it was another girl. This shocked their father, who said, "You two really are my sons." After that he invited them inside to listen to music and relax. Meanwhile at home, Mama was restless, because neither of her sons showed up for dinner. With alcohol pumping through her veins, she got angry and decided to storm into the bar to unleash her rage on her ex-husband. But right then, she saw Min screaming like a complete psycho. She couldn't believe her eyes. 2 useless sons were raising a future lioness right here. So her mouth got itchy and she yelled, "So you brats didn't come home because you were here partying? You think you're grown now so you don't respect anyone? You'll end up just like your father." After that rap-like rant from Mama, all the customers left because they couldn't stand her broken loudspeaker of a voice. "Did you smear pork fat on your mouth or what? Why are you scolding so smoothly today?" Seeing his mom yelling non-stop without even knowing who was right or wrong, Li Xin got angry and stood up. He took his girlfriend home without saying a word. Seeing that, Mama still screamed, making everyone leave. Only Min stayed and said, "Mother-in-law scolds like she's singing. Mother May, teach me some techniques please. Who can even drink plain water?" Seeing this fierce mother-in-law, Min quietly slipped away to stay safe. The next evening, when Malik and the 7 Weasel band were checking guitars at a shop, they were spotted by the Black Pants gang. It was the perfect chance for revenge, so May and his lackeys immediately barked at them. They were too many, the band had no choice, so Malik and the others turned around and ran. However, when it rains it pours, the boys sprinted into a small alley, only to realize it was a dead end. At home, the sky had begun to rain. Seeing his little brother still not home, Li Xin and Tun were extremely worried. On the other side, the Black Pants gang showed no mercy and beat them brutally. Taking anger out on the innocent, the gang leader May vented all his rage on the boys because he hated Li Xin. After being beaten half to death, the next morning the boys barely managed to crawl home, with Malik being the most seriously injured. Li Xin was furious. May's older brother sent a message saying anyone who touched Diana would be beaten to pulp. blood rushed to his head. Li Xin immediately called his best friend Tombao to settle this once and for all. Right away, Guan Yu rode his warhorse and brought Zhang Fei straight to Mei's house. A few guys behind noticed them and rushed to call reinforcements. However, Li Xin and Tombao showed no fear. Mei had barely stepped outside after taking a leak when Li Xin smashed him immediately. Seeing that, the guys behind also rushed in, but they were no match at all. Before they could even touch a strand of hair, they were beaten until they cried. With a baseball bat in hand, Li Xin swung and beat them without holding back. Even Mei took a heavy blow to the chest, collapsing to the ground. Tombao was knocked down, but he grabbed his bat and hit back to break free. Right at that moment, their reinforcements arrived. With his skill, Li Xin didn't back down and charged into the fight. However, there were too many of them and they quickly surrounded him. Kaban pulled out a knife and stabbed Tombao in the stomach. Seeing that, Li Xin turned around and got struck in the head by Mei. Blood began to flow, but right after that, the Blue Pants gang rushed in to rescue them. Seeing this, the dogs immediately fled instead of fighting back. Tombao was severely injured and was quickly taken to the hospital. The rest were temporarily detained at the station. Mei's mother and grandmother desperately insisted that the two Blue Pants boys tried to attack her grandson. He's innocent. He's even more well-behaved than a duck. What could he possibly have done wrong? Li Xin's mother also arrived. Before she could say a word, the two women screamed in her face. You gave birth to two disrespectful brats. A family that's rotten from the roof will never rise. After the parents paid the fines and signed the paperwork, everyone was released. But the orphan from the poor family was left because they had no money. Only now did he realize that friendship has limits. Everyone ultimately looks after released and rejoining the whole group went to visit Tombao at the hospital, where he said, "In a few more days, I'll be discharged. Just costs my parents money. Don't worry, that's all. No matter what happens, your brothers will never abandon you." Meanwhile, the Black Pants gang gathered in an abandoned building. One guy said, "Maybe if we stopped fighting, our parents wouldn't suffer so much. Should we stop going against them?" However, Mei replied that staying silent only meant humiliation. Li Xin must fall under my feet. At the same time, the two brothers returned home and were shocked to find their mother unconscious on the floor. They rushed her to the hospital where she woke up and said, "I just had alcohol poisoning. Sometimes you need a night of drinking to forget your sorrows." Knowing why his mother was heartbroken, Li Xin asked if she could quit drinking. "If you have any problem, we're your sons, so you two stop fighting each other, okay?" Hearing those words, the two brothers agreed and promised not to cause trouble like before. Li Xin and Malak cried their hearts out because they had made their mother worry. The next morning, the Seven Weasels band received good news. They told their homeroom teacher their video had reached 2 million views, which meant they would be performing on the youth talent stage. This made the teacher extremely proud and she said she would announce it to the whole school to celebrate. While Malak had new joy. Things were different for Li Xin. The principal informed his mother he had violated the rules too many times. "Unfortunately, we must expel him to help Li Xin continue high school." His mother arranged to meet the father who worked at the bar and said, "I'll send Li Xin to study abroad in Canada. He won't accomplish anything at this age anyway." "That's actually a good idea. We're the ones at fault. We were so selfish we forgot our responsibility to raise both kids properly." After saying that, Li Xin's father gave her a gift. It was a bottle that looked like vodka, but inside was banana wine. However, she replied, "I don't drink anymore." This surprised and touched him deeply. So he held her hand and said, "Can we get back together?" That night, Li Xin came into the room to talk heart to heart with his mom. "I used to think the most important thing for a man was honor. But now I realize it was just youthful impulsiveness. One reckless act made me suffer for life. Now I see family is everything, and nothing else matters. I'm sorry, Mom." After saying that, Li Xin kneeled, bowing his head to repent for his late remorse. His friend Tombo had also been discharged from the hospital. To depart. Li Xin told Malak to give up fighting. Then asked his best friend to take care of his little brother. Li Xin took out his hair clip and said, "My reckless phase ends here." He then decided to throw the hair clip away. But Tombo stopped him. "Give it to me. Whenever I miss you, I'll look at it." Later, before flying abroad, Li Xin spent his last moments with the girl he loved. Perhaps these were their happiest moments, knowing they would soon part. But both Li Xin and Diana believed they would wait for each other until the day they reunited. "If we're in love, we'll cross mountains, rivers, and passes together. Distance doesn't matter. If the bus can't get there, we'll take the train." The Seven Weasels boys trained hard for their performance on the big stage. But none of them knew. The Black Pants gang was planning to sabotage everything. The final showdown day finally arrived. Seeing Malak's blank goose-like face, his friends asked him what was wrong. "My brother Li Xin won't get to watch us perform." It turns out that today, Li Xin had to go to the airport to study abroad. After saying goodbye to his mom, he left. Min also rushed and brought Diana to the airport. The pretty girl ran inside immediately, but it was too late. Li Xin rode up the escalator, unaware his lover was screaming below. It seemed the two had missed each other by a moment. Just as Diana was heartbroken, Li Xin suddenly appeared behind her, and the two embraced tightly in happiness. Meanwhile at the big stage, the Black Pants gang had also arrived. Not only that, they even hired a gangster group to help sabotage the performance. Once I make my move, everyone will be beaten to dust. Anyone who dares block my way will get their aloe
Shout my name,
smashed. Will you? You brats, shout together, you brats. Good, leave the stage to me. We'll block them at the basement. Okay kid, leave everything to me. After agreeing on the plan, they immediately split up to act. Yet that idiot brat acted like a psycho. He heard the music thumping and rushed into party like crazy, ignoring everything. Down below, Combin called his guys to move upstairs and prepare for the performance. But suddenly received the news that the Black Pants gang was coming to sabotage. I'm here. Tombo then wore Li Shin's hair clip to reassure the boys. But before they could leave the basement, the bastards had already blocked the way. They couldn't go down, and going up was impossible. Running everywhere but still ended up surrounded by the Black Pants gang. Today you won't be artists, you'll be martyrs. You're done for, bastards. As soon as the boss May finished speaking, his men charged in. A fight broke out. Everyone knew who would win, they were simply too many. 2 against 1, no way to win. No matter how skilled Tombo was, he couldn't beat them. Suddenly Khan also showed up here. Boss May saw him and asked, "Hey Khan, how did you get out of jail?" "My mom sold rice to pay the fine." He then rushed in to beat Tombo and yelled, "Because of you bastards, I had to eat dog food in prison." In just moments, the 7 Weasels band and the boys were knocked out all over the stage. The opening act ended. It was time for the 7 Weasels band to perform, but no one appeared. Suddenly a vehicle rushed in. It was none other than Li Shin. Turns out he postponed his flight to Canada to rescue his brothers. Li Shin told Malak to bring the band to the stage, while he stayed to handle the gang. Right after that, the dogs charged together at Li Shin and his 2 friends. Diana tried to stop the fight but was pushed aside, letting them clash head-on. Li Shin said, "May, if you're brave, fight me one-on-one." May's pride surged in front of Diana, so he agreed to a solo fight. After taking off his shirt, the 2 wives began to battle. However, Li Shin didn't fight back and simply let May beat him. On the stage, Malak and his friends managed to rush out to perform. Unexpectedly, they received huge support from the audience. Confident because they had practiced a lot, Malak performed just like Jack Ma. Unexpectedly, his parents also arrived to cheer happily. At that moment, the mutt-like gangster jumped on stage to cause trouble. Yet, Malak ignored him like he was a pile of crap. The music was too good. Another gangster jumped up wanting to take him down to protect the stage. "My friend, whoever's most muscular and tattooed is your dad." The mutt shrank back and went down to listen to music peacefully. Down in the basement, Li Shin still didn't fight back. He didn't even dodge, making everyone confused about what was happening. Diana was heartbroken, in tears for the man she loved. May was smug, looking like a madman. But he didn't know, the real show was just beginning. Turns out Li Shin had promised his mother not to fight, so he held back. However, right at this moment, he remembered what his grandma said. "If you use your strength to protect justice, I will always support you." His mind finally cleared. Right after that, Li Shin stood up like a god. His friend Tombao threw him the legendary hair clip. He clipped it on, then charged in and delivered a critical blow to May. Li Shin lifted that mutt up and kept punching, before the furious strength of a true leader. Boss May couldn't resist and could only take the hits. His underlings saw Li Shin raging like a battle lion, so none of them dared to act. His body went limp but he still refused to give up. Finally, Li Shin shattered that shaggy mutt's jaw with one last punch. Right then, the music stopped and a police officer arrived. "We're innocent. Arrest him." The underlings panicked and ran, leaving May behind. Meanwhile, the 7 Weasels band had finished their performance perfectly and were cheered wildly by thousands of concrete fans. But over here, everyone else was thrown onto the police truck. Yet May still acted arrogant. "Don't ask why I'm hot-tempered when you stand too close." Right after saying that, the officer smacked him hard, crushing his thick skull. They thought they'd be taken to the station like always, but this time they were sent to a correctional camp for 6 months. Holding the hair clip in his hand, Li Shin realized he was finally mature enough to face everything. The recklessness of youth was gone, and new challenges awaited. He threw the hair clip away, declaring he had grown up, and would no longer be a hot-headed fighter. After 6 months of feeding ants in the camp, Boss May came home and saw his old mother waiting. It seemed he finally realized how wrong he had been. In this world, nothing is free, and only a mother's meal is truly the best. The tears of a once violent thug finally fell for his own mistakes. The next day, the 2 gangs still decided to settle things once and for all. Li Shin wore his blue uniform to show he never abandoned his brothers. And then another fight broke out. Everyone charged in like mad dogs, but this time it was different. They dropped their weapons and shook hands in peace. Together they built a non-violent and civilized school environment. Their story is far from over. If you like it, I'll continue the next parts. This movie shows us violence only has meaning when used in the right place. Otherwise, it only leads to a misguided life. So let's all work together to stop violence everywhere, especially in our schools. Study hard to improve yourself and build a better country. Love is like a bottle, pour too much and it runs out, so everyone wants some. I'm still lacking in love myself. If you're single too, let's pair up. Any guy lonely like instant noodles with no water, don't forget me. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to support me. Thank you everyone, I love you, bye bye.